season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. They'll start on the ground. Hall. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, partner, I don't think it's any secret that any running back wants to be able to see a hole open so that he can gallop through it. But in this case, he had to slow down. There was really no hole there. And he took a big hit in order to get that 1 yard.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Big time drive. Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Hall again on 2nd down. And he swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. To throw, Mayfield. Brought in by Jamison Crowder. And he will have the Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So opening drive, 3rd down. They complete the slant to move the sticks.
And ordinarily, it's a high percentage pass when you throw it. And receivers like to run that route because it gets the ball in their hands pretty quickly. Just a couple of quick steps upfield, break towards the middle, the ball should be there, and then they can do some work afterwards.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. The Vikings at 5-4 now on the year. Well, they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
Hall again on 2nd down. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll go again with Hall. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Mayfield's throw into the hands of Henry here. And he's going to get this down near the 25. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice, sustained series to begin the game, and it will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
Brought down on the play by the linebacker, Christian Harris.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's Mayfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Caden Stearns. And the Cowboys are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. First carry for Damian Harris, the Alabama man. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? If it's kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Now Allen off the bootleg. Rolling to his right. And Allen will have the first down as he's able to slide to avoid the contact at the end. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls, or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They run again with Harris. And the defense on him quickly there as they stop him at the 40 for a gain of just 2.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Allen now looks to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So, Charles, our first points of the game provided defensively. What a play that was.
And I can only imagine that the folks at home watching are thinking to themselves, that's one of those plays where once the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, you just sort of go, uh-oh, and wait for the result. This time, the defense benefited.
Gano the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Pulls it in at the 13. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
At their own 35-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And you know, certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number one goal? Make the playoffs. Number two, win your division. Number three, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number one seed so you get that first round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
Again, it's Harris on second down. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. They find some open field here. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Caleb Farley there on the tackle. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
And now they'll throw with Allen. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. Trying to get that one to Chris Olave. But now it'll be 3rd down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. Who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Harris running straight ahead. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32. And obviously well short of the 1st down. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. Now Zane Gonzalez for the field goal try. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. Gonzalez's kick is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal, you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Ball again on 2nd down. And he's got room. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now as his fine rookie season continues. Once he broke through that first wave of defenders, there was a pretty big gap there for him to run.
And it helps that they were in a dime defense. That's 6 defensive backs. So this is why a lot of teams now are searching for those linebacker safety combo type guys who can add a little bit more size on the defensive side of the ball, but can still run as well, because when you run against 6 DBs with some bigger offensive linemen, you often get this result.
That's George Karlaftis greeting him behind the line with a big stop.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Play fake. Mayfield. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. John Franklin Myers has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Open man here, the tight end Henry. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a 4th down.
And I believe that gain on 3rd and long changes things quite a bit, because this would be a very long field goal. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it here.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this won't get there, won't be on line either. It's no good, off to the right, and this will stay a 4-point game.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try the right side with Harris. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. And 22 more yards there and another 1st down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
Well, they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Tyler Shelvin there on the stop.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And they run with Harris off the option. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped it. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Quick hitter here. It's complete.
Yeah, the Cowboys are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Struggle to get to the line of scrimmage as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Well, that kind of hit will certainly fire up your team both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
From back at the 4, here's second and goal.
Again, it's Harris.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Damian Harris with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the lead.
They were able to push him backwards on first down, but this time he forces his way in.
I wonder if he went back to the huddle and said, guys, just a little bit more help, and I can get it done on this one. Maybe even overruled the play call from the sideline, just feeling like he had that opportunity, and he wanted to cash it in.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Ball again on second down.
And for a second straight play, that Cowboy defense gets him to the ground behind the line of scrimmage. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's third down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now third and long. Throwing, Mayfield. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That's an excellent job right there on third down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's fourth down.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10.
At their own 46-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. 79 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From just shy of midfield, Allen, a quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Allen. Oh, it was hit at the line of scrimmage and intercepted. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Charles, there's something special about this big D lineman bringing it in on the tip there. Really nice coordination.
Very much so, and I think what we've seen, and I'm going to put it about the last 5 years, maybe a little bit longer, coaches placing a bigger emphasis on ball drills, even for defensive linemen, because possession is so key. When you got a chance to take one away, you want people comfortable with the football, and it paid off there.
Hey, alert 33. Hey, alert, 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 alert. Run.
Straight ahead is Hall. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. 2nd and 7, operating from the 34.
Alert, 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 alert.
Mayfield. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. Well, do you want to unpack that one, or do you want me to?
You're the boss.
We get the interception, then really he's just too loose with the football on the return, and he coughs it right back up the other way.
I've seen this happen in an NFL game, and boy, did it cost someone. San Francisco at Atlanta a few seasons ago. Atlanta throws the interception. San Francisco runs it back. Game is salted away. Fumbles on the return. Atlanta gets it back, drives down, kicks the game-winning field goal.
How about that? And a crazy situation we just saw there. On the counter, it's Hall. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 25-yard line.
Ball again on 2nd down. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Breece Hall. In the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Extra point try good by Gano. And the lead is now 14-10. So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. And here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
The Cowboys take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And you wonder if with Allen's arm, they might just take their chances by dialing up a long one. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the third quarter. And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. But Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead. Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. They hand this off to him, and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Well, now after all of this, hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Ball on a give up the middle. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. 85 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Ball again on 2nd down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
That's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. They run straight ahead here with White. He's going to be marked down very close to the 1st down marker, but it looks like he's a yard short. It's a pickup of 4, but they're still a yard short here with 4th down forthcoming.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the 1st down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
They'll go for it. It's Hall. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on fourth. At first glance, I actually wasn't sure that he got it, but he ended up getting it by about a full yard.
He certainly did, but it took a little effort, didn't it? Took some nice push, a little crease inside, and some determined running to make sure that he got the first down.
They'll run with Hall.
And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. On second down, a run with Hall.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Hall.
And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
Gano's kick is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10.
So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Throwing again on second down. Allen.
That's complete to Tony.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. On first down, Allen. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. That one complete. He finds Sharp.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
The handoff to Ford up the middle. He'll take this to the 46.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Allen. Throw left side, complete to Tony. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Allen going to try and throw on 3rd down. And Allen going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked up by Anthony Harris. 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So that, a real wrench thrown in now for this offense. They're trying to make a game of this in the 3rd quarter, but that is not going to help.
Yeah, partner, probably should have used a different tool on that play, right? That ultimately is the kind of play where you can lose a ball game instead of being in a position to win.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Graham, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Allen finding his target. It's Trey McBride. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got him for the tight end.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Allen. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the Vikings are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it. And sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Ball again on 2nd down. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
On third down, Mayfield going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Cowboys are right back in this football game. Well, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed the quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. They'll roll him out right, and he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
Now it's 2nd and 9. To the air, Allen. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's a give to Hall. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10.
Hey, we're 33.
Mayfield to throw it. This complete to Henry over the middle. Big hook up there. Forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now on 2nd and 13. Mayfield, left side here, taken in by Metcalf. A gain of 8 there on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Hey, alert 33.
Now Mayfield. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Caden Stearns. And the Cowboys are right back in this football game. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. The interception was a great starting point, but now they need points pretty quickly down. And now here's another interception. Tanner Muse with it. And the Vikings are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Ball again on 2nd down. And he's got this pretty close to a first down at the Cowboys' 43-yard line. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll run with Hall. And he is going to lose yardage here. 6 yards in the wrong direction that time. Not only that, but it brings up 4th.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. The Vikings send out their punter. They'll boot it away from about his 35. Here comes Grant on the return. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
At their own 18-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y,
and this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And this defense just continuing to do their thing, and now they add on to that lead with another pick six.
And how about the way they played this entire game? Not only they put their stamp on it, but every time they try and mount an offensive challenge, they find a way to thwart it. And multiple pick sixes, oh yeah, they'll enjoy watching this tape after the game.
And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a fourth straight loss.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays
and my goodness, another interception.
And the Vikings are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Some teams like to start aggressive to begin a drive, but this is still what you expect to see in normal situations. Just call a simple run, get a few yards to begin the series, and set yourself up for something bigger on second down.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be the last points of the game?
No. What a second half the adjustment. Whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Minnesota, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And they'll get another home date next week as the Patriots will come to town. Meanwhile, for Dallas, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll have a quick turnaround as they're back in action Thursday afternoon at around 3:30 Eastern for the traditional Thanksgiving Day game in Dallas.